Hadn't been balanced, and it's 13 to 15 years it was balanced, and we got by. The first year it's been balanced, and 13 to 15 years. I mean, I'm not against going up front. I know everything goes up, but I'm just saying 2.5 meals is too much at one shot.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
I realize everything goes up, but what I'm trying to say is we only went up 400 and something thousand on the budget. Here we are going up 682,000 on revenue taken in.
Well, what's happening is taking the salt out of my grits and putting it in somebody else's.
I know how you feel, we all pay taxes and we all pay money.
Well, how much do you pay?
I
Pay
know.
all the bills for them.
What do we do when we ride? What are you gonna do then?
Everybody's on the selling on the steps.
It's like it last week.
Yep.
We're probably gonna sell.
What it does is all landowners that's only got, say, 75 or 100 acres, their taxes is gonna go up and they on fixed income. They ain't got enough land to rent to pay the taxes, it's gonna force them to save it, is what happened. It really put a burden on the people that's on fixed income, sure.
That's why I do it.
Yeah, me too. That's a question I had, and I asked this question a year or so ago. People who have 20 acres or less are paying through their nose. And I was told that because, you all might recall, because of the person having 20 acres, that is classified differently than anybody with 20 acres or more. And they, 25 or more. And we are having to pay, like I said, through our nose, and as you were speaking about earlier, and people on fixed income are 10, 8, 15, 20 acres, and we cannot hardly stand another increase in on fixed income, as you say.
That's what I'm up against.
Exactly, and that's rough.
I own 30 acres of land and my taxes is right at $4,000.
It's ridiculous, Tom already gone?
Well, I own land in 3 counties, and my land in Coffee County appraised, when I bought it 5 years ago, appraised for $3,200 an acre. I got land in Jeff Davis, I'm paying nearly twice as much taxes as I do in Coffee County. A third more anyhow.
I thought Coffee County was higher up.
No.
Coffee County listed in the paper that Tommy ran was the lowest out of any of the counties that surround us.
It's about 8 mils, I think.
Yeah, well, it's actually a little less than 8 mils. Yep.
Mr. Cleveland, tell me.
I got the whole state of Georgia right here, if anybody wants to look at it.
But the mills brings in each county a different amount, where it's
Okay.
270 an hour in Coffee County, a mill brings in how much, right?
But it's still the same percentage.
$900.
So
A
they
lot
double
more
our
people in
meal.
Coffee County.
But it's still affecting us that's paying it. The meal is still, it's still for every $1,000 worth of value, you pay $1. So for the ones of us that's paying the bill, that argument it don't match up. Yeah, you might be collecting less, but we're paying as much, because I pay it in both counties. Yeah, a meal is figured as a meal in every county. It's figured the very same way. It's $1 for every $1,000 worth of appraised value.
Pounds, don't matter what county it's in.
Value of it,
Just like the percentage, yeah.
value of it's different in every county, but a mill's a mill.
Meal's a meal. For the taxpayer, a meal's a meal.
You're right.
Yeah.
But Hampton County
You know, it was said earlier that the budget had been cut.
That county rated about twice, a little twice.
is a little over twice.
It had been said earlier that the budget was cut,
Fix that.
that there were no more places that we could cut, really. Well, when that falls in, you got to start making smart decisions. That's like Ms. Rhonda brought up, the value of that land was $211,697, and why did we pay nearly almost $1 million for it? That would have left you $600,000 some odd dollars to put in part of the road.
And I handed that piece of paper to Rose, anybody wants to look at it, I'll give it to you.
I mean, I'm all for progress, but I'm not for shooting ourselves in the big toe.
Mr. Chair, you signed that check on the lien?
I think the development authority bought that land.
Well, sounds like they got a bad deal if it was valued at $211,000 when we spent. What was the exact figure on that? Anybody know?
947.
Yeah, that's a big difference. And I grumble when something at the grocery store goes up a nickel. But I guess it's different when you're handling that much money that the taxpayers give you.
Well, it's your money.
Ray, correct me if I'm wrong, the Development Authority is an advisory board, just like any other board that you, the commissioners, approve, right?
No.
Why not?
Well, it's not a, the development authority is, per se, what development authority is, it's not an advisory board.
Okay?
They make decisions without even us not knowing anything about anything.
But we
Can they, that was gonna be my next question, can they spend $1 million of the taxpayers' money without it coming before the commissioners?
They have to bring it to our attention and we got to go over it, but then again, how all that worked, I don't know. I know the first 2 years Jerry and I was here, we didn't give the development authority any money whatsoever for 3 years. In the 4th year, I think we gave them a little bit of money.
All right, that's not what I asked, I don't care how much money we gave. I'm concerned about, can they go spend $1 million without bringing it to this board?
No.
They can if they've got it in there.
If they've got the money, yeah.
But if it's taxpayer money, commission has to approve that.
Okay, so what you're saying is that before they went and made this loan at the Heritage Bank, there should be a resolution that I can find in that minute book where the commissioners right here approved for them to go borrow that money. I know y'all had approved for them to go borrow $800,000 of 3 different loans that's not been taken out. So this board right here should have known that there was money being spent. $947,000 is what I'm getting to.
Yeah, I agree.
But there's no resolution where y'all voted on. I can't
So there's
find
no paper trail.
Ms. Rhonda, could I inject something here?
it. Yes.
James Emery's dad, and I was on that board when the Development Authority was established. We were two of the 5 that raised their hand to help the Development Authority. And the whole goal was to try to move our county forward. And we decided, amongst us, we had a lot of legal in the background study where what they needed was $1 million tax at that time. $1 million tax at that time, or $100,000. So they automatically received that from the county through the taxes. And it was their option to spend that money as they saw fit, because that's what, they were an arm of us, but we didn't have time to sit up here and try to look after every little detail out there. And that's the way that thing was set up, and that was in the late 80s. I remember well.
I
It didn't bring in much money, but it kind of got us started. And,
I understand that, Mr. Starr, but you own Moby Outdoors.
yes, ma'am.
Are you gonna let one of your employees go borrow $1 million and you not know anything about it and not approve it, but hold you reliable to pay
If I
it?
have hired him as a competent controller of my company, yes. If he's one of the mechanics right there, no.
Okay. Now, my thing is, this board right here is responsible to the voters that vote them in.
That's right.
I'm correct, okay? We didn't vote them folks in over there.
They cut a vote itself anything.
This board right here appoints them.
It was set precedent. When we first set that thing up, we appointed the first group, then they would reappoint themselves after the U.S. Congress.
Oh, they can reappoint themselves?
No, they reappoint the members.
It's kind of like keep yourself a king, ain't it? If you can just reappoint yourself.
No, I don't follow. Hold on.
That was set up.
They vote their own people?
That was trying to keep politics out of the betterment of that function, was our goal.
Okay, I believe I've been at meetings right here where y'all have voted people, I believe the last one voted on was Terry Stone.
You do too.
I
Y'all voted wrong, right?
He was right there with us.
Hey, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
We made a change. We do.
I know that they were reporting members that's coming behind. We don't do that.
They make a nomination.
And the reason we said that, was to keep all the housing disease.
But
And there's nothing wrong with that. But the point I'm getting at is them spending $1 million that's not been approved by this board. I think before that amount of money, y'all, Mr. Chairman, you have a little bit more authority as to what you can spend without coming to the board. What is it, up to $10,000?
I don't approve anything, any expenditure of that kind of food.
Oh, Ray, you better go repeat it. Woo!
$5,000 or $10,000 for pension without coming.
Oh, don't get me started, Ray.
I mean, that's $1 I'm talking about.
Sorry.
Any step.
Lord.
Well, let's get back to the tax thing. We gotta go into another meeting.
With tax thing, last time we was up here, you did discuss on this tax hike, one meal of the tax hike is for this pellet meal, correct?
It's not for the fed, it was going to the development authority, that we put in the,
And they're putting it into the
Right.
pellet meal. Okay, that's right, you said it's for the highway construction, the railroad construction, and all this good stuff. But Tommy states in the paper this week that we got grants to cover that. So are you still asking for us to pay more taxes to pay for it, even though y'all done got the grants to pay for
well,
it?
you need to go talk to Tommy about that. As far as I know, there's only been one grant received. I know there's been 3 grants applied for, but to my knowledge, there's only been one grant.
Are we gonna, or are we gonna hike the taxes and take, what we're gonna do with the grants when they do come in?
You have to apply for the grant before we can even start the procedure of putting in the pediment.
And what I'm asking, are y'all getting grants to put in this infrastructure? And y'all gonna get bonds, and y'all gonna raise the taxes, to put in infrastructure? Which one's paying for the infrastructure?
they not enough grants, just gonna pay for the railroad spurs, the food in there.
Will y'all lay out what it's gonna cost for each project and what, and let us know what the grants is covering and what they're for?
The development authority's got all that. You go to the development authority, I'm sure they'll show it to you.
He said
So
we
they have
just,
all that.
he's,
We don't have any of that.
wouldn't it be prudent to have one of them here then? In other words, you don't want to answer the question.
Well, I do know that there's some other things in the works, not just the pellet mill that's coming. If it works out, and they're trying to help them too, it's not just the pellet mill.
Works out, what is that?
I'm for the pellet mill coming, if it don't cost taxpayers. My understanding, if they get here, we're gonna get the home office here from Richmond Hill.
Well, they have stated that they didn't think Hazlehurst wanted it.
I don't wanna pay the bill for it.
Why is Ware County closing there? If it's such a great thing.
Why is
We're
it?
kind of closing the pellet mill. Well, we're kind of closing their pellet mill.
I don't know, that's, my understanding, it's a different type of pediment than the maker.
I think, now y'all help me with this, but did they have to get some, okay from London, from overseas for this plant? They had to have a okay, and it was done by the offices or something in London, they said?
Get approval from the House of Commons and the Parliament in order to.
Before they decided to do
Ship the
it.
product over
And I think you have to have a contract,
in hand.
contract in hand. I think
Believe it or not, we're not trying to.
They tell me that why they put them, to me, it don't look like to me it's ready to start putting that stuff. And they got to be paying for that stuff. So,
We need to know who's trespassing on our land, that's what we need to know.
They want to make some by the end of the year to be able to start filling the contracts that they got. And, so, I mean, now, I don't think the development authority, I don't know that, but I don't believe the development authority, and I know the county had paper and equipment that they set down there and put it on there.
And they got no trespassing hung up all around the place, so are they trespassing or what we need?
That's the metal thieves.
Well, we need to know who's paying for this.
You got business, you understand about things.
What's that one?
You've got business, you understand about people stealing.
Well, I just like to know who's paying for what's out there. There's a lot of money sitting out there. And, you know, we own that place, we'll at least know who's on our property and who's putting stuff on our property. Don't y'all agree?
Well, I mean, but coming here asking us, I mean, I don't know.
Well,
But that's why I said that I think that we sit here and talk back and two all night and not get anywhere. And I think, and I told you all ago, I'm only one person. But that we need to get Mr. McCray, Dan McCray down here, and we need to get the development authority forward here. And then y'all ask them these questions.
Well, we better do it before Monday, because Monday is a hearing. Who's representing us at the hearing? Who's representing the state at the hearing?
Matt Craig was a thing. I don't know.
Y'all came and you did this out.
He didn't say nothing about it here.
He didn't say about the fee.
It's in the paper.
Where is it, ladder?
No, it's here. Judge Scarlett, what's his name? It's in last week's paper. It's in the legal section. No, it's Scarlett. It's the Superior Court Judge Scarlett.
It's about the federal bill.
Y'all don't even know about this hearing?
These things,
It's in the legal section right here. It's gonna be August the 19th at 11 o'clock at Jeff Davis County Courthouse. Judge Scarlett, it just says Judge Scarlett. As the Superior Court of Jeff Davis County, we're here the case of the State of Georgia versus Joint Development Authority of Jeff Davis County, Hazelhurst, and Denton, Georgia, and Hazelhurst Woodpellets LLC.
a Superior Court judge have to approve this, judge, the bond.
The bond issue.
Oh, it doesn't sound right, you read it in the paper, that the state suing Jeff Davis County, that's not true. But it's just legal. A judge, and I don't know what brings me here.
It says in such proceedings, the court will also, A, hear and determine the totality of instruments relating to and providing security for the bond. B, hear and determine such other questions of law and fact pertaining to the right of the issuer to issue the bond and to provide the security therefor. The bond shall be a special and limited obligation of the issuer payable from funds provided by the company or its successors. And then on down here it says, any citizen of the state of Georgia residing in the county or any other person wherever residing who has a right to object may intervene and become a party to these proceedings. You see, I don't know whether I want to intervene and object because nobody can answer these questions right here. Right now, I do want to intervene because Sam, we're not doing this.
When is that here to go to that?
11 o'clock.
The judge may not can answer your question, but I bet you he can get an answer for you.
Somebody needs to get some answers before 11 o'clock Monday morning. I sat there yesterday on the internet and printed all these papers out there and got more information from that than I have anybody else.
This wash on this land, it is, I got to say, this does bother me. When the value of it, when you got this paper done, was $207,000.
I printed that the day before yesterday,
August-
whatever the day is down at the
August
bottom.
14th, well, okay. And we paying, I'm still looking at this $947,000 we paid, you got, and that's exactly, that's what we paid, $947,000.
That's what the loan is at the Heritage Bank. I'm sorry I don't have a copy of it, it's on my desk.
Okay. I mean, there's a, then I have a question about it, plus the 40 mil limit, what you was talking about. That did raise my suspicion, because, I mean, I know math wheels, but I do know how to add and subtract.
Amen. I can't do.
And that does raise my suspicion. suspicion on that, because, I mean, $900,000 for a $200,000 piece of land. I like to sell my land for that much, and get $700,000.
Well, that land was purchased before you came into office now, that land.
I know, a lot of this happened before I came in office, but I'm in office now, so I'm along.
Mr. Chairman, may I say something?
Yeah.
Rodney, I think what you're looking at there is fair market value. It's like you get your taxes, consistent, your land's not gonna be what it's worth, it's got
I
fair market
understand.
value, and I think that's what you're looking at.
I understand that, but it ain't that big of a difference. I understand exactly what you're saying. My land may be even valued more if somebody goes out and does an appraisal to purchase it, it may be valued more. But that, it can't be 4 times, and that's basically what we're looking at. It may be doubling the land.
I just like to ask the commission, please look into what's happening in West Rock before y'all make this decision. I realize that, I've talked to the governor, the commission, they said the gate cards are wash. I mean, it's just all gonna work out. I realize that as farmers, and then we talked to Mr. Farmview, Cuba has, it's $600 tax base. We got that county. I just feel like we can get by with less than 2.5 million, whatever we're trying to build up.
I do too.
Yes. That makes a lot of sense.
Now, something that was mentioned at last Thursday's meeting is why put the burden on the tax owners? Why not put a referendum and let's go up a % on the sales tax? And let everybody that lives in Jeff Davis County help with this burden. They all live in here,
Well-
some of them's living free off of it.
Well, and if you do it by sales tax, it's not only people that live here, it's people that come through and spend money here.
That's right.
So it could be somebody in another county that's helping to pay for that thing, and the tax burden is not on those that live here solely.
You are absolutely right.
A sales tax is the fairest tax there is.
If you use fair and tax in the same sentence.
Well, you're right there, you're right there.
I'm through.
Thank you, James. I mean, we appreciate y'all coming, and like I said, we'll take all this into consideration to see what the final shot's gonna be and go from there.
I don't know, can you collect more than 1% tax, like the special?
I was here last Thursday and I was supposed to got some information in the phone call and I haven't received that phone call.
Did you talk to Christie about that? Getting on
Me,
that?
no, the sheriff was gonna check into it and get from me. I haven't had anything.
There's a group that's out there working for fair tax all over the United States.
Now, will that help us?
That's why, everybody pays a certain amount of sales tax.
But I mean,
Is that a big?
well, that's what we had talked one time before, Jerry, and don't let me put you on the spot, but didn't we ask one time before, we talked about the sales tax, the fair tax, and can we put it on the ballot at 2%, you remember that?
Yeah, but I don't think
And we couldn't, you remember? And, I know Tommy Williams and Tommy Smith, we talked to them about it, and they said, and even now, if you put another 1% on, you would have to delegate what it was about, because you couldn't add it to the 1% that we got now.
See, that's the problem we
you got allocated out, you got specified what we use.
Well, just yet you can still pay the
On the agenda it says tonight.
Greg, I got a question. Out of all our discussions, when are you guys gonna vote on whether or not we want to increase the 2.5 million?
We got to all get together and see what we're going to do.
But it won't be tonight, right?
Yes, it is on the agenda.
That's what it says on the agenda by the door tonight.
Okay.
So there won't be any other hearings after this.
Those folks that we ain't got, it ain't in the world, tell me this.
When's the last day?
When's it gonna be there?
The state auditors come in Tuesday.
This Tuesday?
Check the digest.
All right, but let's get back to this thing that, just Mr. Dan and Development Authority why we couldn't have a meeting Monday morning at 8 o'clock and find out what they can tell us, and then lighten us on it before the judge is up there.
We'll be here on Monday.
And this be a public meeting Monday at 8 o'clock.
Yeah. So I don't know what that's.
I do, I got them right here.
All Wayne I know is what we talked to the guy that first time I ever seen.
Well, if he's here Monday morning at 8 o'clock,
Whatever day it was.
then the working man's not gonna get to be here.
Well, if we don't, first of all, you gotta post it.
Right.
You gotta see if he can be here, if
Right.
he will come. All right, today's Thursday, and if we can't have it tomorrow, Ms. Rhonda can tell you what the law is. All right, so then the next one would be Monday, but I don't think this man would come back on Saturday and do it.
Well, that's-
And I don't think there's no use in having it Monday night, when the darn court's done, when up there Monday. There, that's why I said Monday morning.
That's on the
Not that I'm trying to.
Yeah, I guess Monday morning is gonna be the only option.
We gotta
I was
do it
thinking
by-
why not have
by
it
though.
Monday night, but.
We had to vote for 24 hours, we run out and post it right now, we'd have to have it tomorrow night after 8 o'clock. And I mean, you know, I don't think we can get in touch with him morning, he'd be here, and we could post it, if he ain't coming, then we don't need to have it, because he's the only one who can answer.
Right.
Don't talk.
And I think
This
everybody
company
involved.
stands to make almost
is
$2 million, he'll be here.
Well, we'll try to get it, do that in the morning, see if we can set it up. Let everybody know. We're gonna have it, we can have it later.
So there won't be a decision now until the half meeting, am I correct?
Big pardon?
There will not be a decision tonight.
No,
I'm not,
we won't adopt it tonight.
All right. Thank you.
That's fair enough.
All right, thank y'all.
Okay.
Don't come back Monday. 8 o'clock.
We'll tell Ron Barnes to get over there.
Glad somebody will let us know. But I heard you make a good talk about KCBK. Yeah.
they been doing all right?
Thank you for working.
Well, they got, Johnson closed up a couple weeks ago, and I think he did last week, but now he went with a winter's eight, he don't know everything, he said.
I was trying to look on my phone too now. What is it, Jeff Davis County, but it's, do you have to put a dash in Jeff Davis or anything? Is it Jeff Davis County.org?
They got to tell me, do it, load this, and this, I said, hold on. Let's get this thing, I'm doing it all right.
I know we're going in. And we step forward.
Let's kiss my back.
This is call the Jeff Davis County Board of Commissioners,
Right, can I say something?
number 1. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
We just called the state auditor about the, proposed millage, you know, we're supposed to adopt the millage tonight. And if it's not adopted tonight, we gotta start all over.